time of the week again. Prepare yourself for the surveyors of sauce, the sultans of spaghetti, the whispers in your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What's Your Spaghetti Policy podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Jacob.
Days like today where it's hard, you know?
Days like today.
It's hard to just do something, you know?
You got the morbs, bro?
I think I do have the morbs, you know, shouts out to that episode callback. But yeah, man, it's just like one of those things where I just, you know, going to record today and it's just, I don't know, man, you know, just like, meh.
But oftentimes when we feel like that and we do this podcast, we sort of get pulled out of the funk.
Yeah, I'm hoping that'd probably happen later on. You'll probably see me smiling later on.
I know I have it. It's right here. It's in a box.
You could cut to me and it's me smiling. It's just a frame of me smiling and it's like right.
You do
here.
know that reference, right?
It's old Greg, right?
I'm old Greg.
Yeah, he's got that mangina. Shouts out to the
funk.
man. Yeah. What
a show.
What would a mangina look like, really?
I mean, just take it, pull it back.
I do this funny thing with my balls. Where I think that's what it would look like as a mangina, where you take it, you do the bat, you know, the bat wings. Yeah, mm-hmm. you cover your whole thing, cover everything up. That'd be a mangina. That's what it'd be look like. Or it would be
no, you gotta take it and pull it back, so then like you have the two flaps.
Yeah, but I mean that's too much like a vagina. You're talking about a mangina, right? So it would be like the opposite of like an innie. It would be an outie. So it'd just be like do you remember Dogma? Remember that movie?
Kevin Smith, absolutely.
Yeah, he was in that one, right? And then was that the one?
No, he directed it. It's got Jay and Silent Bob in it.
Who is
Matt Damon? Ben Affleck.
Dude, that was peak Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, dude. They were great in that. What is that guy's? I don't think it's Dogma. I think I'm thinking of a different movie, but it's who's Snape? Who's Severus Snape in Harry Potter? He died.
Yeah.
That guy. What's his name though?
Alan Rickman.
He was.
Why do I know this shit, dude? Like, let's take a break. What? Like,
it's just.
I have no business retaining that sort of information. Like, what? I don't. My brain amazes me sometimes, dude.
It had Alan Rickman in it, and he didn't have a penis. Like he was like, you know, or I'm an angel. Is that same movie?
That's Dogma.
Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah. Okay. Making sure I didn't get it mixed up because I know they were around.
Chris Rock's in it.
He was like around a campfire and he was showing his smooth parts. That's a mangina to me. That's yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't really give a shit.
It's just like nothing there.
So, you know, when like you have, I don't want. Let's go to hygiene for a minute. Like this is a weird transition, but
okay.
like.
No, we talked about manginas. You got to clean it. I understand the transition. It's okay.
It's something I've been thinking about lately. Not for any particular reason. It's just like, you know, it's one of those shower thoughts things where like you got your shampoo and your conditioner. You know, I shave in the shower. You know, now I got a mirror, whatever. You know, you got your leg scrub, like whatever. Like you do all these things. You get out of the shower, right? You put lotion on to fight the dry skin, especially in the
helps
winter
with
time.
aging too. You know,
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Deodorant, okay? Deodorant. I use mounds of deodorant. I do not like to stink.
Much. Yeah.
Okay, I do not like to stink.
Okay.
That is a well-known fact about me. But have you ever thought, and maybe there is, and I've just not done my research. Okay. But like, where on your body, besides your armpits, do you think you would need deodorant?
My nipples for sure, dude.
No, that's Vaseline.
No. I mean, for real though, because it's like it's an anti-chafing, and like it's kind of like it is anti-chafing.
Okay, I got you.
If you gotta follow me for a second, like it's like I have sensitive skin, right? And like I've been running a lot lately, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, nipples get all chafed up, dude. They hurt. I hate that feeling. So I started slapping.
You put Band-Aids on them, right?
No, I can't. I sweat so much. I don't know. You've seen me before. I sweat so much. Like I
see
tried
you
that
now.
once.
Sweating right now.
Yeah, you know, I'm pouring sweat actually. It's very hot. And they just slide right off of me, man. And so I
We almost broke a record today, temperature wise.
Yeah, man. It's cool. I love that it's almost September and it's 100 degrees. Love that, man.
Good thing climate change is not real.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to, hotter temperatures longer, baby. I want a summer that lasts all year. That's what I'm looking forward to. So, but yeah, no, I put it on my nipples. You got the legs. You can put it on your legs. You keep them from chafing up. But I'm using it more as like an anti-chafing medicine. But you're talking about, like where else would you slap it that you don't want to stink?
Where else do you sweat?
Everywhere. I can't get away from it. Like
The crotch region, right?
Yeah, back of my ears sweat. Slap it back there.
So like, is there because I know that women there's like not cream. I think cream's a weird word, but like
controversial opinion, women deodorant the best.
Controversial opinion. My wife would disagree with you. She uses men's deodorant because she says it works better.
Nope, women's deodorant works better. I've used both. I guess she has used both too. I don't want to to basically disregard her opinion, but my opinion is that like I think that women's does a better job.
I think you're using the wrong men's deodorant. I think that
degree, dude.
Degree. Do you use the Vaseline stuff or the white powder stuff?
It's the either one. I did the Vaseline
stuff. I don't fuck with Vaseline. I don't.
But it does not last, man. It doesn't last.
No, you gotta use the powder, and that way it all clumps up in your hair right here.
Yeah, love that feeling.
Anyways, what I was saying is like I know that like women have the thing. They have like a deodorizing like ointment cream. I don't know what you would use for it. They have a deodorant for their fucking crotch region. Do men have a crotch deodorizer? Because I feel like one of the first places I sweat is the crotch region.
Yeah, your balls.
Like my fucking taint area. Like it sweats. It's the first thing that sweats on me. Then my pits. Then my forehead. Right.
Yeah.
And then so like the last like couple days I'm like I could just like picture myself like I throw my leg up and then fucking pick the sack up and just like put deodorant
just slather on there, man.
So like I don't know if I should just get like a separate deodorant. And it's not like, again, I'm a fairly like lazy person. It's not like I'm out here doing anything. And if I sweat like a lot, I do take a shower because I'm kind of. I've also not a controversial opinion, but I have learned that if you use OCD in the wrong connotation, you can offend someone who has actually been diagnosed with OCD.
It feels like a huge pivot. It feels like we were talking about deodorant.
Because I was going to say, I'm a bit OCD about cleanliness, and but I think it's more I'm hyper fixated on cleanliness and being.
You've got hang-ups about it. Yeah, you have trauma.
But I'm not clinically diagnosed with OCD, which is an actual ailment, right?
Yeah.
So I forget where I was. I don't go many places. I might have been at the comic shop, and I think there was brought up in a conversation that, hey, you probably shouldn't. So don't say that around so and so. I don't even know who it was. I don't even know who they're talking to, but it was apparently somebody that I was supposed to know, and it was just like because like they get real upset because like they're diagnosed, and I'm just like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't feel like. Like, yeah, I guess you could like somehow use that in like a negative way. Be like, yeah, dude, that guy is super OCD about shit. And it's like, even then, I would just feel like you're just, hey, be careful because this guy's gonna yell at you.
Is anal retentive PC?
I don't see why not. I think anal's just fine, dude. Do what you want. That's what I say.
Not talking about that. Like they used to say that like, oh, he's like real anal retentive about homework and scheduling or something like that. And it's just like what does that even mean?
Bro,
like I understand what it means, but like what does that even mean?
Is that like, to me, there's like two types of OCDs where it's like you have the kind that's caused by like trauma and being yelled at as a kid or have an experience where like you smell really bad, and so like now you hyperfixate on it all the time because you don't want to ever get that feeling of being made fun of again. And then there's like the actual mental health issue with it where it's like they're clinically diagnosed as being obsessive compulsive and like they can't do anything about it, like the tics and everything like that come along with it, like making sure that like Charlie's mom kind of is that OCD stuff where she has to turn the light off 3 times, and then she's off.
So Charlie doesn't die.
Yeah, and so it's
he's not dead yet, so it works.
But I mean, I think that I don't know. I think all OCD is fine. It's cool.
It's not about whether it's fine. It was just whether like
I don't feel like it's. I can't. I'm trying to think of like an instance in where like you would be making fun of somebody with OCD, and it's like outside of being a bully and a piece of shit. Like I don't just having casual conversation. I don't feel like I don't know. But hey,
if you
we'll get a lot of flack for it. I don't know.
if you retrace the steps, you talk about the trauma of like, oh, you had a bad experience, you smelled bad one time. I would guarantee you that my hyperfixation came from when my dad killed the skunk.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school smelling like a skunk
Mm-hmm.
and was forced to sit outside in the rain
Yeah, that's
in
a
third
very
grade.
traumatic experience. I think I've probably said the exact same thing when we talked about
Yeah,
this back in the day, but it's like, yeah,
yeah.
that's a very traumatic experience for somebody to go through. And like, yeah, that will, it's like, as you get older, you start to see the pathways that your brain have chosen for you. And it's like, I think I was talking to you earlier about it, where it's just like, yeah, we were discussing things or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, I can see why my brain does certain things now, because it's like, I'm just trying to protect you, dude. I'm just trying to protect
You
you.
were
Don't
you
worry
were
about
like,
it.
I'm glad it's you because I physically could not handle that, I mean,
I
it
would have
made me
quit ages ago, man. I would have just been like,
it did
actually,
make me
this
feel
isn't
better
worth it.
that I'm better than you.
Hey, I said it before, man. I said in the
I'm
message, like
just kidding.
you handle things way better than I
I'm
would.
just
I'd
kidding.
crumble under that pressure, my guy. So
Um, we've not talked about video games in a while.
fucking let's do it, I guess. You know, people
Well, there's been
love
a
video game talk. So
well, we won't go too hard on it,
because we're
but there's like,
gamers.
we're, don't 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 do that.
Yeah, I know. Sorry,
I'm
sorry.
offended by that.
So there's like a few games that have come out recently, right? Hunt
Well,
Showdown, shouts out, got its big
so the
update.
update,
Yeah, it got a sequel.
obviously,
Sorry. Okay, now I'm just being provocative.
uh,
Yeah.
you're being trolly.
Yeah,
You're
I'm coming out
being
of the funk
clickbait.
now, so
Yeah, it's good for you. So, anyways, like there's a whole thing. Like, listen, obviously, we love Hunt a
hmm
lot.
hmm
I think the new update fucking slays. Like
it kills,
it
man. It does.
kills. But that in and of itself, obviously. So for anyone who is not in the know, the UI was completely overhauled, and you have the Reddit sweats who absolutely unequivocally hate it. So much so that they're trying to force new players not to play it because it will in fact make them hate the game, which is just
It's
not
and
even
this
true.
this came. We were a little bit behind, but this came 24 to 48 hours after the
They review
update.
bombed the shit out of it, and everything was like, "This map is awesome. All the quality of life changes are great. Oh, this is like one of the best maps in multiplayer game history." Blah blah blah, and literally everything was like the UI is garbage. It pissed on my child. I fucking hate it, and I hope the game. And it's just like, bro,
I stole
all of
my
that to say,
wife.
yeah,
So-
everything like, and it is a microcosm of why I don't like labels. I've never liked labels. All right, because I don't want to. I am not someone who wants to be, put into a fucking box that you think I should fit in.
yeah,
All right. And this goes with metal and like, I've always like I don't like the word gamer because of the connotation that comes with it. I am simply a guy who likes to play video games. I like to read comic books. Like, oh, you nerd culture, like obviously, you want to go back to retracing the steps. There's that whole idea of, well, I was bullied for that shit. I was only,
hmm
whatever. And like now the MCU and all that shit's made culture cool, and like it's the most profitable
dude, I missed that. I
thing.
missed that on that train. I never got made fun of for playing video games. So I mean,
Well, I did.
maybe they made fun of me. I just didn't realize they were making fun of me. But
They were making fun of you for something else.
I had red hair,
Right.
so yeah, they hated me
So
just because I was alive and had red
correct.
hair. Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure that South Park thing really didn't help.
Oh boy, it was fun. I love that.
And so, but like all of these things where by and large, they're, and it's like we're in a weird space just in the internet in general, because it's like, how do you express yourself and feel like your opinion or the thing that you're saying is valid? And like it seems to be that the only thing that really works is review bombing. We saw it with Helldivers, the whole PSN mandatory thing, and everyone was just like,
Yeah.
no, we're not doing it. Boo, review bombed the shit out of it. And it's just like, okay, whatever. But like from our perspective, we're just like, there's so much good here. And like for like since the new update, it's just has the highest daily player count literally in it since it's in its 6 years of existence. Like
People are
Hunt
digging
is
it.
very
Yeah.
niche, but like, and is there problems? Absolutely, there's problems. Like
Yeah.
we run into them every fucking day we play. There's like little things here and there, but like I just think that like because of the way internet culture has sort of gone, we've lost the ability to, because the what is it, the loud minority always wins in these situations because the hunt UI thing is not that big of it's is it great? No,
I mean,
but like
we talk about it ad nauseum where it's like if it's the reason, if a UI, if anything, is the reason that you don't play the game, like if especially with like as little as you interact with this UI for Hunt Showdown, like you're in the menu for what,
well the
maybe like a
argument is
minute or
that it
two.
is something that you do almost more than play the game.
No, it's not.
Okay, maybe.
I don't.
I
The
mean,
matches are like
you're in
45 minutes long. I'm in the menu for like for maybe a minute and a half to two
there are a
minutes.
lot of there are a lot more clicks now, absolutely. But
Yeah.
what's funny is within 48 hours there was a dev update talking about all the things that they were going to change, almost as if it was already in the works,
Yeah.
right? And then but then the argument is why release it in that state?
Because they made a
Because
deadline and they wanted to stick to it, and I don't,
well,
because these
because
people would be
there
the
is
same people complaining about the fact that like you got to push it back again. You got to push it back. What the hell is this? You know, like, and they review bomb it
there's
for that. So
also
it's
there's
like,
money involved, and when
yeah,
there's money involved, things seem to get a little bit more muddy. And all I can say is if you happen to listen to this podcast and you like a very unique online PvPvE shooter, like if you literally want to play something where there is nothing else on the market, Hunt Showdown is your ticket, baby.
I mean, it's I don't think we can talk enough about it. Like on
I mean, I could
it's
I could do an entire podcast about it, but I
we
won't. Now,
let's pivot and do a
hold
Hunt
on.
Showdown podcast. Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that. Now, to sort of piggyback off that, the PS5 Pro is something that has been in discussion for I feel like 2 years now. And a mid-console re-release is not something new. We've seen it all the way back with the
it's
PS3
like the
when they
PS3
had
Slim, right? And
The Slim, and
PS4
the
had
X.
one too. Yeah,
Well, yeah, but the Xbox 360 had one in different colors and different like bigger hard drives, all sorts of things. Because I remember I traded mine in and got a red one. I had my original one that like red ring like 6 times, and then I got a red Resident Evil 5 one. Even though I didn't want Resident Evil 5, I just thought it looked cool.
yeah.
I did get a PS3 Slim, but I did not get a PS4 Pro,
Yeah.
and I probably needed one because by the time I got to my PS5, my PS4 was like a jet engine. It was, I remember playing
Yeah.
Control on it and I had to play with headphones because it was so
I
loud.
kind of miss the jet engine, honestly. You know, just feel
Um,
nostalgic about it.
my issue, hey, first of all, there's another part of this story is that the PS5 itself is being raised 13,000 yen in Japan, which is equivalent to about $90. Normally, the further you go into a console's life cycle, the cheaper it gets, but for some reason, it's going up, and Sony just keeps making these really dumb decisions on things. You know,
They're like we're ahead of the game right now in the gaming market. People are upset with the
well,
Xbox. They're getting rid of Xbox is getting rid of exclusives. Nintendo's always super expensive. Like how can we truly outdo them? Let's increase
well,
the
that's I
price.
mean,
It's like,
Xbox is
like
not even
yeah,
is a non-factor at this point when it comes
yeah.
when it comes to that sort of stuff, the console market, anyways. But like I just have no desire for a PS4 Pro, but PS5 Pro,
PS5's working just fine, honestly.
because I don't feel
Knock on
like I've
wood.
played my PS5 that much,
Yeah,
and I've had it since launch.
I will say, out of the consoles that I remember owning, the PS5, while it is awesome, I've had
It's
some
a fucking
great
juggernaut of a machine.
had a great time playing games on it when there was games available to play on it. And the issue is that I found is that like you have barely any content for like your super
Right.
powerful console, and it's like okay, like because at this point we use it for like the PlayStation Network games sometimes, and that's like if it's not used for one of those, it's a Fortnite machine, or now recently a Minecraft machine. Like it's you got
It's weird, right?
God of War Ragnarok. I
I
don't even think that
I
was a
also
PS5 game. That was just a
it was both.
it was booted up to PS5 or whatever.
I think I think part of your issue is that you have your circle of things that you're interested in playing has shrunk a lot, shrank. Um, and you have a rotation of like three things that you're willing to play. right?
That's fair.
I can name the last 4 games you've played: Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate, Hunt, and WoW,
Yeah, yeah. I
and
played.
that is
Yeah,
across a year and a half.
yeah. Have I played anything else? I guess not.
I don't I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
think
think I
so.
have.
I
Yeah.
mean, and so
I mean, yeah,
I
and I
think
don't play a whole lot, but it's like at the same
no,
in the
you
same
play those a lot.
yeah, but in the same vein, it's like nothing has really caught my attention that you're providing on the platform. So it's like I don't
Right.
know.
And that's, I mean, there's no real right or wrong way to view it. The last thing that I played on my PS5 was RoboCop.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was fun. It was fun.
Hey,
But like I
I played
use it
Returnal.
more,
I played Returnal. That was really fun. That is out of all the games on PS5, it's the best one so far. So
and we should play it more.
yeah, I just man, I got so many other games I'm playing right now.
No, you don't.
got
You
so many. I
don't.
got so many other games, man. So
Um and I don't know. It feels a bit tone deaf, and I feel like, personally speaking, a lot of the, especially like this year, you remember when that showcase happened, everyone was like, that's it? Like that's all you have to show?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
where's all your heavy hitters? I feel like when they announced the PS5 Pro, you're going to see more stuff. You're going to see the
I hope
Spider-Man 2
so.
DLC. You're going to see Wolverine. You're going to see Ghost of Tsushima 2. You're going to see whatever the next God of War project is, probably Atreus. You're going to see all these things. And I bet that all of those don't come out until the PS5 does, because they don't want to ship the game without like a patch or whatever. I mean, it's going to have a patch anyways, but I just feel like they're waiting to showcase their big heavy hitters with that. But also, like, Sony's going in the wrong direction. They're fucking just
They don't have. I mean, like
they're
even if you
doing
go back
stupid
to
shit like
to
Concord,
just
and like, listen, I'm not out here to
yeah.
like hope for something to fail. And I do think that it is being misreported about how bad it is. Do I think that it is some sort of juggernaut? No. But all these articles you see are about like it only has 686 players on Steam. Yeah, on Steam. But like you're not talking about how many players it has on PSN. You can't see it, but like apparently you can jump into a game really quick, and like there's a pretty decent install base. But like whatever. The problem is that it's a $40 multiplayer game. Nobody.
Wait, which game is this again? Sorry,
Concord. It's a brand new game, just came out last week. It's an Overwatch. It's an Overwatch clone.
bro. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea about it.
They
Honestly.
have What's funny is like they've just put like all, again, I don't want to go on this whole thing, but they put this whole spiel into like they have all of these things. People want a Bloodborne PS5 like remaster sort of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're putting all of this money into these live service things that have continuously failed time after time.
What are
Obviously,
you talking about?
Helldivers,
Tons of live service games
obviously
that are still.
Helldivers 2 is an anomaly in that situation, but all these live service games succeed because they are free to play and riddled with microtransactions.
Yeah.
Whereas now, obviously, it's coming off as a bit of a hypocrite where like we paid for Hunt. I didn't pay full price for Hunt. Now
I don't think anybody that's played to Hunt has paid full price.
I've probably spent upward to $100 on it now at this point, buying some cool like legendary hunters and blood bonds and stuff to get like the premium battle pass. I understand that I'm part of the problem, but I only do that with one game. I don't know. It's just like long are the days for like great single player adventures from Sony, and games are too expensive to make. And that's part of the problem too. Like everyone's like, "Where's Ghost of Tsushima 2?" And it's like, well, that game only came out like 4 years ago.
But it's. I
Takes a
think
lot.
it's. I
Takes a
think
lot to make
that
games, bro.
I think that one sect of games that are doing really well are indie developed games. They're fucking
They are.
crushing it right now. Like
Dude,
I mean,
I
now a lot of them are multiplayer currently. Like at least as far as what the streamers that I watch, like you're talking about Lethal Company, you're talking about Supermarket Simulators is super popular. There was a new tavern game that was just dropped that's super popular. Like all these are made by like what I would call indie developers as because I mean they're on Steam and they're like they're not part of the AAA or whatever. So what is it? AAA is it? I feel like that's roadside assistance, but
Triple A is great.
okay.
Triple A blockbusters like
Yeah,
God of War, Last of
and
Us, that
like
sort of thing.
they're fucking crushing it. So
Basically,
hell,
they have no mega publisher behind them, is what that means.
yeah, and it's like I think they're doing a great job. Good job, guys. Keep it up, indie
Well,
developers.
I love like I played that game recently called Children of the Sun, and it's just so weird, and like it's like a 2-button game. You literally point and shoot a sniper rifle, and it's
Nice.
weird, right? And it took me all of like, I don't know, my playtime was probably like 8 hours. start to finish.
Yeah.
I love those kind of games, dude. I love because I
We
feel
need
like you get
Inscription
to.
2. We need Inscription 2 right now. All right?
He's working on
Devolver,
something.
is it
He's
Devolver
working on
Digital?
something. Yeah, but he's
Get the
working
fuck to
on
work on it, buddy.
Pony Express or Gypsy Circus or something. No, Gypsy Circus is a brewing
It's a
company.
beer, yeah. I was gonna say, it's like, they're really good.
It's
Don't get me wrong.
it's something along those lines. But speaking of things that people, I don't know how people or why people still play it. Apparently, there's a new WoW expansion.
Man, okay. There's a little bit of a sidebar here. All right, because I was thinking I was in the same vein. I unfortunately am part of the problem as well. The trailer came out for it fucking a year ago. I think it was like a while ago. And when me and Shelby watched it, we saw hot Anduin, a hot traumatized Anduin, who's a character in the game, by the way. I don't know if you know who Anduin is, but
That you're talking about the sausage.
nope, hot traumatized Anduin. He's been through a lot of shit, seen a lot of things. His dad's dead. He's trying to take over this kingdom that his father left him, and he's just traumatized as shit right now. And I was just like, damn, dude, I'm back in.
What's Arthas up to these days?
Oh, he's dead as fuck, dude. Arthas has been dead for like 3 expansions. It's been taken over by Bolvar. He's doing a fine job. He's doing
Bolvar these nuts.
I mean, it's Bolvar, but Bolvar these nuts. That's for sure. But he's fried to a crisp. He looks cool as fuck, I will say, for Lich King purposes. But the Lich King, I think theoretically is like out the door now because Sylvanas. Dude, there's a whole. I could lore dump on you all day, my guy.
Don't.
Okay, well, let's see. Sylvanas broke the Helm of Damnation, which
don't.
was the Lich King, theoretically speaking, and that broke open the gateway to the Shadowlands. But people don't talk about the Shadowlands expansion because it's trash. It was really bad. They retconned a bunch of shit, and then they
What's
went
the one
back.
that had the fighting panda bears?
Mist of Pandaria was right after Cataclysm, right? No, wait. No. Yes. No. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Dude,
Because
if any of these
Burning
WoW
Crusades,
people get a hold of this podcast, we're toasted, bro.
Burning Crusades, Wrath of Lich King, Cataclysm, Mist of Pandaria. Mist of Pandaria actually turned out to be a really good expansion.
Different twice.
What's Mist of Pandaria? I Mist of Pandaria is my country accent, brother, coming through. But Mist of Pandaria, actually, it was like, it started off as a joke because Kung Fu Panda came out right around that time, and it was right around April Fool's. It was like announced, and people were like, "Oh, this is hilarious! They got Jack Black to do a whole bit or whatever," and it ended up actually being like a really decent expansion by the end of it because it launched a whole bunch of fucking event. And then the Warlords of Draenor came along. They shit the bed on that one because they tried to do a whole time traveling thing and ended up not doing a time traveling thing, right? Because they were like, well, actually, all the shit that we do here doesn't affect our timeline because they really fucked up, except for the fact that it did affect our timeline because Gul'dan, right? He's this bad guy. He got
You hear that
through.
sound?
Yeah, it's everybody turning off the podcast, but it's like, hey, I'm started. All that to say, yeah, the War Within dropped. Me and Shelby have been crushing it. We've been enjoying it. I do think that they've made a lot of quality of life improvements. They've been really well. There are some very tear-jerking quest lines, and low-key almost cried a little bit today doing one of those quest lines because it was like, fuck, it hits you when you were least expecting it.
For someone who doesn't like to read, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've gone on record many times. You read a lot of manga.
I do, yeah.
And you love shit like Elden Ring, where you have to fucking read books to learn the story.
I mean, you say read books, but it's like it's an
WoW
it's
is
an
all
item.
text based, right? It's still like
There's a lot of text.
There's cutscenes, sure, but like all you have to read all your quests. Are you one of those people that like? Do you read every word, or you just fucking click?
Oh no, I mean I skim read for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I have been taking my time. That's why I think this quest line hit me really hard because I kind of like understood.
Oh,
what
so
they were
you paid
doing.
attention.
Yeah, I was paying attention to it, and it was like, basically the people that you're helping out, or whatever. It was like kind of a take on like dementia because like this guy is like really old and he's trying to like have his friend take over the business basically, and like he's like you're helping him all along, and I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, dude. And you're like helping him and whatnot, and like. His memory keeps fading back and forth, and eventually he runs off because he's like terrified. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and it's like, God damn, dude, that was like, shoo. And then they did the whole like getting like the passing of the torch ceremony, which was like just him and his friend, and she was like, bro, you sure you want to do it here? And it's like, yeah, this is where I like if I want to die, you know, I'm just gonna go out to the ocean and just fucking drift away, dude. And it was sad, man.
Speaking of drifting away,
yeah, dude, everybody's fell asleep. Sorry, you guys can wake up now. I apologize.
Let's reinvigorate.
Okay.
You said that things like you were paying attention.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm not going to pay attention to after I read this article to you?
Uh.
It's this new streaming service.
Okay. Not
You
gonna pay.
ready?
Yeah, you're not gonna pay attention to it.
What if you were a fast food chain, which one do you think would jump into the streaming service industry first?
Dude. Oh man, that is a good question. I think. See, my brain goes like the scummiest of them would probably be the first to jump in on it, right? To create like some shitty dramas and whatnot. But then it's like, who is the scummiest of all the fast food chains? I would argue McDonald's, just because they're the most
Scummiest in
corporate.
terms of like their corporate practices,
Yeah, like they're
or
just they're the most corporate. They fill their
who's the one that who's see to me the scummiest would be the one that has the most openly bigoted
oh, Chick-fil-A then for
stance.
sure.
There
Yeah,
you go. So
yeah.
Chick-fil-A will launch a family friendly streaming platform. Um, and obviously, I picked this for several reasons, but the article I chose to read is from LGBTQ Nation because I'm
Hell
sure
yeah,
there are
dude.
lots of nice things to say about it.
Hell yeah, man. They yeah, I think they love.
Chick-fil-A, the fast food chain known for much of their conservative Christianity of its founder that has guided the company's corporate culture as it has for its fried chicken sandwiches, is reportedly preparing to launch a family-friendly streaming platform before the end of the year. As Deadline first reported last week that the company is moving aggressively into the entertainment space. According to the outlet, Chick-fil-A intends to launch a streaming platform with a slate of original programming, and it's also in talks to license existing content. Um, Among the major production companies that Chick-fil-A has reportedly been working with to develop original shows are Glassman Media, which produces game shows The Wall, Sugar 23, don't know what that is. Netflix, 13 Reasons Why, The Nick. Okay, so none of this means anything to me. Um, Chick-fil-A's stated corporate purpose is to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that entrusted to us and to have a positive influence on all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. Now, again,
Ugh.
all right, it's fucking, that's just word salad right there. Um, Following the public backlash in 2011, where they were found to be donating millions of dollars in
It's like the
donations to
anti-gay.
anti-gay groups.
Yeah,
Um,
because they fucking suck. Like, I think it's like a Chick-fil-A is a lot like that true Americanism, where it's like, hey, we know that they're bad, but we just ignore all that because they make really good food. So
their whole thing was that once the public outcry happened, we intended to stay the course. We know that it might not be popular with everyone, but we thank the Lord we live in a country where we can share our values and operate in biblical principles. Okay, fine. I have no issues with that. But I do think that when it's all said and done, my issues stem from the people who want to cry wolf. Not even cry wolf. They just want to get mad when they have to face the consequences of their actions. If you want to be a far right like grifter and like you want to be openly like hate people, then by all means do that.
yeah,
But like when you get vilified correctly for that sort of shit, don't fucking cry about it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
pick your lane and stay in it, right? And so it was like, I don't know, $1.8 million they had been in 2017 alone. All that to say is like, do it's going to be like Hallmark, right? Like
Oh, it's
it's
gonna be worse.
terrible.
It's gonna be worse than Hallmark
I
because at
don't.
least with
Maybe
Hallmark,
you
it's
should.
like we just know that they're just shitty movies. That there's no like there's no underlying theme of like being shoved in your face. There's no market. Like it's one of those things where it's like you pick a Hallmark movie because you know it's gonna be very very easy to follow story. It's not gonna be good acting. But hey, at least there's not some sort of agenda that they're
Hey,
trying to
maybe
push.
Kevin Sorbo will find a job finally.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who's
He was
or maybe that chick from that did the Mandalorian for the first season, and then it was like
yeah,
found out
Gina
that she,
Carano. Maybe
yeah,
all those
yeah.
people that have been um
Maybe Ben Shapiro can finally have something that people
all those
watch over
people that
there.
have been
Yeah,
sort of quote unquote blacklisted from Hollywood can find jobs now.
Because they're just too, what is it, anti woke? I don't even know that. I don't even know
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, they're super, super conservative, far right.
They're too
You
close to
know,
the truth, my guy. They're too close to the truth. The people like they got
maybe they should
canceled.
spend all that money that they're doing and like fix their fucking fries and make sure that they're fresh for longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? You know, that's
No,
probably
why
something.
would you? Why would you work on improving your food?
I will say
That's
that I had the
crazy.
pimento cheese sandwich from there. It's fine.
Hey, did you hear about the fucking outbreak from Boar's Head? That's just like crazy.
Dude, I don't want to. Okay.
It's worse. Like you can't even eat deli meat right now. It's so bad.
Well, I don't. The deli meat's one of those where it's like it's kind of crapshoot,
Dude,
anyways.
I want to know what kind of contraption they use when you buy like the Oscar Mayer or whatever, and like, or not even Oscar Mayer. It's like it's Hillshire Farms, right? Hillshire Farms,
Which
the
one?
one in the red container. Regardless,
Yeah, Hillshire Farms is in the red container.
I
Yes.
want to know what kind of contraption they use that like when they seal it up, they fart in it really quick, and then they close the lid, and then it stays in there
Yeah,
because every single turkey thing
it's
that
the
they've
fart
opened,
packer. Yeah, they
fucking awful.
right before it puts it together, just real quick, and they close it together really fast.
It's terrible, dude.
It's
It's
just
just
two
like,
guys. And it's two guys. One guy farts in, and the other one closes it up
But
really
what's
quick and puts
weird,
it on the
it's got to
truck.
be the chemicals, right? It's got to be the
Oh
chemicals
yeah,
mixing
it's
together.
like the
Because
asbestos and the formaldehyde that they put in there. Not, I mean, again, this is all is allegedly. What? How do we?
allegedly,
Yeah,
yeah,
we can't confirm
whatever.
or deny that this is actually what they do, or if they actually have a fart packer 3000. They do sell those. So who knows?
Um, in good guy news, though, who is that celebrity that everyone can agree is like, oh, that's a pretty all right dude?
Keanu Reeves.
Yes, sir. Well, he's Canadian, right? Or he was
Yeah,
born in Canada, moved to Hawaii, I think. Did you know he was a hockey player?
for how long?
No, like growing up, he was a hockey
Oh, I
player.
didn't know that. No.
He got hurt, and I think that sort of like is what derailed his hockey career.
Which is
Because
kind of
again,
crazy to think. Like Keanu Reeves
when
got
you're
hurt. Like if you hurt Keanu Reeves, like goddamn, fucking, what'd you do?
um his first movie role, credited movie role, was in a 1986 film called Youngblood about a teenager who tries to make the NHL. It also starred Rob Lowe and Patrick Swayze. All this to say is that he finally achieved a dream. He signed a one-day contract with OHL's the Windsor Spitfires.
That's a sick team.
Um,
Yeah, it's a sick team name.
it's just I think it's yeah, a minor league hockey team, and they were selling jerseys, right? I can't tell if they were selling jerseys, but he's got a picture of his jersey on. Man, dude he just looks like he's having a good
He's
time,
just a
man.
he's just a good guy, and
Yeah,
it's one of those. He's one of those guys. He's like a real Betty White, where it's just. And I also hope that he doesn't die, and then like,
all this stuff comes out. So
yeah,
he autographed a bunch of stuff, including the jersey, a couple jerseys, I guess, and they're auctioning all that stuff, and it will be all 100% of the proceeds will go towards the Canadian Mental Health Association in Windsor, Essex.
it is kind of scary though, because it is like you do start looking at all these things, and it's like he does feel like he's too good of a guy. You know what I mean? Like it could be scary, but then it's like, then he goes beyond that, and it's like there's no way he's not a good guy with this, how good of a guy that he is.
Yeah, he played goalie growing up, and then I guess he got hurt.
I'm gonna send him an email, see if he'll come on the pod, just talk to us. He doesn't have to, like, we don't even have to record an episode. We could just hang out with him for like a day. That'd be cool.
That
And
would
not
be
even a
weird.
day, like maybe like a few minutes. Give us like 30 minutes of your time, Mr. Keanu.
So I am very much an anti-AI guy, right? I don't like it.
I think I'm with you there.
And I feel like there's a lot of space right here. Let me scoot over.
Hey, you've been leaning, man. You've been casual. I mean, I
There,
ain't gonna
there we go.
correct.
How about that? Seems better.
Square up, yeah, dude. Square up, dude. Yeah, let me straighten up too. I feel like you're really straight now. Let me straighten up. So,
Anyways, um,
hello there. I'm
I
human. So,
do what?
it's like hello there. I am human. This is how humans say.
2 days ago,
Yep.
there was this weird thing on Spotify that was happening to metal specific bands. All right, there was this. I'm gonna send you this
Let's go.
so you can look at it.
Gosh, I'm gonna have
Chat.
to-
This
I'm gonna have
sucks
to
for
open
anyone
up-
who's listening.
Yep.
Should have sent to you ahead of time. Anyways, so there's this image is popping up, right? And then all of these songs were showing up on playlists for bands like Fit for an Autopsy, Alpha Wolf, like Moss to the Flame, all these bands, Born of Osiris.
Okay.
And like it was such a big deal that like there was a ton of like Reddit threads, like like what's this, because whatever. And like the weird thing was that Fit for an Autopsy, one of my favorite bands, they did come out with a song this week. So like at first it was like, oh, maybe this is just like a placeholder for like the new song or something. But it turns out there was an AI attack on metal specific
It's starting.
playlists on
It's starting. They're
Spotify. Right. Like of all things to attack. So the article reads something wild is happening on Spotify, and it's got metal fans everywhere scratching their heads. Out of nowhere, a bunch of new tracks, in quotes, from well-known bands started popping up. But here's the kicker. They're not real. We're talking about fake songs likely cooked up by AI sneaking their way into playlists under popular artists like what I said, Fit for an Autopsy, Alpha Wolf, like Moss to the Flame. Um, and then so apparently there was an update. The issue is tied to a broader coordinated effort by individuals using AI to create and distribute instrumental music that mimics well-known metal bands. These AI-generated tracks are being distributed through a company called Vibratech Musicians and are primarily available on Spotify. This tactic is likely calculated attempt to siphon off streams from followers of these legitimate artists, thereby generating revenue for the creators of these AI tracks. This practice is highly unethical, as it not only
Oh, no
deceives
shit.
listeners,
Yeah.
but also financially harms the real artists by diverting their streaming income.
I mean, okay, small little asterisks there though. It's like they're not really getting a whole bunch of revenue from Spotify. I'm
Depends.
sorry.
I mean, it depends.
Yeah, but notoriously Spotify's like, fuck you, we're gonna take all the money. You can
It
have like here's a couple
depends.
pennies. So
I mean,
it
again,
does siphon off. I don't want to like downplay it. Like it does. Yeah,
I
it is.
think it also just depends too. Like, that new Fit for an Autopsy song is a fucking banger, dude. It's a fucking ass beater. And so it came out this week. So a lot of people are going to go listen to it on Spotify. And it's obviously going to hit its peak probably this week with people listening to it. So I think it's a little bit more than pennies on the dollar, but I understand what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going back and listening to fucking, Lamb of God album from 2002, probably not going to get a whole lot because you're just like one person, but like with a bunch of people listening to it, it's different. Anyways,
Yeah.
bunch of people, were commenting on it. And it's just like, bro, here you go. Here you go.
I mean,
All you
this is how it
fucking pro,
starts.
dude. And that's the thing. It's like I've always said that AI grifters are just like crypto grifters. They're fucking dude bros. What did they do before cryptocurrency? What was the one thing that they were
NFT
they were super
was
into?
Cryptocurrency came first, technically speaking. Then they tried to pivot whenever crypto was down. They tried to pivot to NFTs,
Right.
and like people,
And now it's AI.
Man,
And like, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry for this. AI programming requires zero fucking talent, none whatsoever.
no. I mean, AI art doesn't require any talent either. AI music,
Because
like it's like none of this does. Like
without the music, without the art, the AI cannot exist.
yeah, because we're not there yet. We're not, and I don't think that we'll ever be there because we there's no technology that we currently have that can produce unique content. Yeah, that's a great sentence. Good job, me. Like it's all pulled from references. It's about, it doesn't matter what you quote unquote think you're creating with it. It's not unique in the sense that like somebody else has created that content. It has taken a multitude of samples of that same genre of content and just slapped it on together like back whenever you were a kid and you put together those little portfolio pictures for your mom and dad that you cut out of a comic, like a what is it? What do they call those things with the papers? The magazines. Yeah, there you go. You guys remember magazines? Huh? Comment
Dude,
below if you remember magazines.
dude, I used to like, I would take Game Pros to school.
Yeah.
Because again,
Oh yeah, dude.
we're old
Damn.
enough that we lived in the pre-internet days.
You had that
and
money,
so
dude.
like,
You had Game Pro, dude. Oh, this guy over here had a Game Pro
didn't
subscription.
like I would
Shit.
get a year subscription for Christmas.
Shit, dude. Somebody's got
Christmas.
some high rolling family members. Is what it is.
No,
Granddad
'cause
making
you
money.
had-
Is that what it is?
You had because you had EGM and Game Pro, and I was a Game Pro guy. I did like EGM, but then it all like got consolidated basically, and then the only one you had left was like when I worked at GameStop was Game Informer, and then
Yeah,
they just
that's right.
closed. But dude, I used to love video game magazines, man, because that was it for a
Hmm.
month. That was all you got. And like I just think back sometimes fondly, like going back to like gaming in general, like you can it does feel different now in a lot of ways, but like back then there was just like a weird innocence where you could just like make up a lie about, oh yeah, there's a character in Mortal Kombat. Like if you do this,
Dude.
and then like no one could prove you wrong.
Yeah. And it is that is. I think there is
And
something
you would
to.
spend hours trying to flawless a whole tower, and then you had to uppercut Sonya right before you fought Goro, right? Like, oh no. And then like it turns out that Reptile does exist. Like he exists. And then like all these things, and then that would go on for years and years and years. Remember GTA San Andreas?
Yeah.
Everyone said Bigfoot was in the game.
Was he in the game though?
It was not. It was not. But it was such a big deal and such a thing where it's like, oh, if you go to the mountain at this time of
And
day
like,
and you
think
you
about
shoot the moon and you see these tracks and
think about how much of an effort that took to spread the rumor to the point where like everybody
people
heard about
believed
it
it.
back in the day. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's like it literally would start with like a friend being like, "Hey, you hear Bigfoot's in the game," and then he would go and try and convince his friends that Bigfoot's in the game, and then like it's like truly for like something like that to take off as it did. Like, dude, that's like shit,
And
man.
that's one of those like innocent lies. Like that's just something like, oh shit, guys, let's fucking find Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And but then you would always have the one person go found him, and then you're like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Cause
And
I
then it's like,
fucking
yeah, I
made that up, you
did.
piece of shit. Like, no, you didn't.
Yeah. Then you like throw mulch on him on the playground sort of
And
thing.
then and then he convinces you that he's in the game, and you spend your lifetime trying to find him, and you realize like that piece of shit got me. He got me back. So
But like the whole point of that was like there would be things inside of the Game Pro. They would have a whole section of like myths, like rumors, myths, and like Easter eggs or whatever. And it's just like, oh, I didn't know that. Like this is that's in there, and like that's just like that sort of innocence doesn't exist anymore. And
you
I
know
think
what?
I mean it's obviously because of the internet.
You know what? It's never
But
coming back, buddy.
no, it's
This
not.
is like
It's not. You can't.
if we want to switch this around and go the depressing route, like we're never gonna get that back, man. We're never gonna get that back. I think that there is something to what you said before, where it's like our brains weren't designed to have this much access to information constantly, like in updates and communication. Like we were never designed. At least we're not there yet. We haven't adapted to consume this amount of information. Like
Dude,
it's just insane because it's like
we
the last 20 years, like I would say 20, 30 years, probably like around 25 years I would give it, because when I was a kid the internet was still like getting its baby legs underneath it, like you had AOL Messenger, you had the chat boards or whatever, but like there was not this amount of information back then, and it's not until like this last 25 years, we only had 25 years to like adjust this.
not even, dog.
Not even. Yeah.
If you really want to get down to it, like 15 since high school, because Facebook was a thing. It was becoming a thing when I was in high school. I in high school, there were people in high school that didn't have cell phones, bro. I'm only 2 years older than you, and literally they were like I had a cell phone when I was a freshman. All right, that wasn't because I had money; it's because I had split parents and they didn't want to talk to each other, right? And so, but I had one of those. I had a 540. I had a 703 number, which is Northern Virginia. It's in the DC area. But then, like, I can talk to anybody once people got cell phones because of the long distance bullshit. And you only had so many. Like, if anyone under the age of like 25 ever listens to this, they're gonna be like, I just don't think people realize how normal things are now, but like how drastically things have changed in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Our lifetime. Like, again, I went to school when the internet didn't exist. And you think now that, oh shit, I couldn't live without the internet. But like, our generation is such a test subject for so many things. Again, like, we're the first generation that really like grew up before the internet, during the internet, and we're like a test subject of like how all this affects us on a daily basis and our brains and our behavior and our mental health stability and all those sort of
It's
things,
going
right?
great, man.
We're also the fucking generation that is like turning it around. This just like, fuck working all the time, like bullshit. Like I'm not about corporate America. I'm not about the American dream.
I
That
think
shit
Gen
is a
Z is
fucking
gonna
facade.
Gen Z is alpha,
We're
whatever the
first.
hell we're on now. Yeah, we
We're
are
first.
we're
You gotta
there, sure,
understand.
but they're
We
definitely gonna be
started
the
this shit.
ones. They're definitely gonna be the ones where it's like, I'm not gonna work.
Absolutely.
Sorry, buddy. Like,
I understand, but I'm saying we started that trend of like, no, my family and time with my family is actually more important than my
yeah, we
job.
definitely started that trend for sure. Yes,
Right. And so like,
because fuck a
it
corporation
because,
taking
but
me away
that's
from my
like,
family.
this
Yeah,
is an actual trickle down effect that works where like the people below us are just like, yeah, like, why am I going to work myself to death and like hate everyone and be miserable my whole life? Like, what's
they
the
like
point in
those
that?
guys have a good point about the whole like not working all the time and like spending time with their
What I'm
family.
saying is we're the best, bro.
I don't know if we're the best. Uh,
We're
I
certainly
don't
trying.
even. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even think we can fix the problem. Right? That's not a
Oh,
like.
we're definitely, but the thing is we're
We're
not trying to fix the
we're
problem.
so
We
old, man.
understand, we see the problem,
Yeah.
and we are no longer contributing to the problem.
Yes. That's like that's what we can take. We can take comfort in that fact that like we are no longer gonna be a part of the problem.
And the generation above us fucking hate us for it.
Oh yeah, dude. And I do think that the term. I think can you use the term microaggression outside of just being racist? Like, because I mean, definitely our parents' generation do have those microaggression, racism, traits. Uh, Maybe some more so
That's
than
hearsay.
others.
It's
But
hearsay.
that's all hearsay. Yeah, I know.
Projection.
There's no such thing as racism anymore. We had a black president. I understand, but I do think that like there is these like little microaggressions that
Just think of what's going to happen when a black
are
lady becomes president.
fuck,
They're
dude.
going to lose their
I
mind.
haven't thought about that until just now, and honestly, it's gonna be kind of wild. Like I'm kind of here for like the anarchy it's gonna create.
You won't
Uh,
participate.
no, I'm gonna watch it from afar, very very far away, and I'm gonna enjoy the fact that there is a black female president. It's gonna be so sick. Kudos to her. I honestly hope that she replaces all the old white men. Get them all out of here. We don't need them anymore. They've had their time to shine. And I say, fucking, let's do
They've had
this,
about 100 years or so
dude.
in office.
They had from the yeah. I think literally
Some of them
them.
have been there since World War II.
Some of them have been there since the creation of the office. Okay, so I think it's okay if
They were
they
there.
just take
They
their
were
leave.
just babies when the Declaration of Independence was signed.
Fuck, they probably held the pen for some of the guys. I don't know, man. They were probably I don't know, some kind of squire boy back in the day. I don't know what the hell they used to have, but
I saw a baffling fact the other day, and I got to remember it. But I think it's John Quincy Adams.
oh shit, I think I've heard this before as well. I think somebody's really old and like they're really close to.
So John, I think it's either Tyler Van Buren or John Quincy Adams has a grandson that's alive today.
Yeah,
I think it because it was
it's
something
one of
like
the old
they
guys.
had a child
Yeah.
at 76, and then that child had a kid at like 80, and then that kid is like 94 and alive.
And it
And
just
it's
goes to show
just
you, man,
like,
dudes be coming
bro,
all the time, you know?
dudes be coming all the time. And it's funny because like they could still do that back then, but like now you hit 40 and you're just like, I need help.
Please. Everything hurts, man. Everything hurts. So